Wepa, Richie here. I've been into photography for a while, and by now you would think that buying gear would be easy. But honestly, it never is. I don't know why, but it always feels like it's a bigger decision than what it really is. So today, we're gonna have a little chat just to talk about this and about why buying gear feels so stressful even when you're just looking to create art. And I believe that one of the first reasons is that you have too many choices and not enough clarity. Let's face it, we've all gone to buy some gear, and when we're looking for information to buy that gear, we tend to go online. It may be just Googling some information or heading down to YouTube to see your favorite creator and see what they think about the gear that you want to buy. And when you're doing this, you get flooded with information, you get exhausted just reading and checking all the comparisons, all the critique, all of the gear that is presented to you, all of the options. And the deeper you go looking into these videos, the truth is that it just gets more confusing because everything contradicts each other. And the reason for this, I believe it is that when we're looking to find information about gear, we tend to put pressure on ourselves. And that makes it more stressful because we believe that making a decision is gonna shape our whole identity, our whole style, our whole way of being and communicating and presenting our art, our photography, our video, whatever we're making. And we sometimes believe that just because we get a certain type of gear, everything is gonna click and our art is gonna take that step forward. And hey, in some cases that might be what's needed, but not every single time. So that puts pressure on us. It puts pressure on the decision that we're gonna make. And all that pressure that we receive when we're making the decision takes us to the second reason that I believe makes all of this buying gear difficult, which is just the fear of making a wrong decision. And it's not always about the money, because sometimes you do have the budget to treat yourself, but then you start overthinking it and you start thinking about, what if I buy this and I invest all of this money and it doesn't work out? What if it isn't what I thought it was? What am I gonna do then? What if I invest in something and it doesn't feel right? And fear is awful because it starts creeping in, it starts getting into you, and you start just asking questions like, what if I invested all of this and it wasn't needed? What if I should have just learned more about the gear that I had and worked with that? Is it the right decision? Is it the wrong decision? The truth is that you'll never be sure. Sometimes you just have to take the plunge, and if it works, it works, and if it didn't, it's a lesson. But it may be an expensive lesson. So it gets very confusing, it's tough, but you'll manage. I'm sure you will. Now, the third thing that makes us wonder about what gear to buy is the fact that gear is usually tied to an identity. And I know there's a lot of people online that would just say, no, the gear that you use doesn't matter. It matters only what you know and the pictures that you want to take and the ideas that you have on your mind. But in truth, there's a lot of prejudice, there's a lot of stereotypes, and there's a lot of people out there that have a bias regarding the gear that they use. And that's fine. That's fine in a sense, because you like what you like. And I know this is hard to admit, but gear becomes a part of how we see ourselves sometimes. A certain lens or a certain camera can become a statement in style because you want to be seen with a Sony, you want to be seen with a Canon, you want to be seen using Nikon, you want people to take you seriously. When there's a lot of different options, they may cater to you and maybe even better for you. You don't have to follow the mainstream. But when you still don't know who you are yet as a creator, picking gear can become a bit of an identity crisis. So it all gets very confusing, it all gets very overwhelming, and Sometimes decisions are difficult to make, but what exactly does help me pick my gear? What helps me choose now? So at this time, when I'm stuck, I try to ask myself some questions. Not what exactly are the specs for the camera, but what do I want to create with the camera? Would this gear really help me solve a problem that I have, or am I just bored and looking for motivation in external gear? Like, not looking for motivation within and from the things I want to create, but from the gear that I want to buy, and just, I don't know, feel something about it. And to answer these questions, I would say to myself, just look what you can create and achieve with the things that you have before buying that something else. Because there's always gonna be a new camera. Let's face it. There's always gonna be a new tripod, new lights, new everything. Everyone is creating gear. They are trying to sell it, and there's times where you're gonna be feeling overwhelmed by everything. That's how they kind of get you into buying that gear, because you feel guilty because maybe you have an old camera and there's this new camera that does everything. But do you need everything, or do you need something specific? That's what you need to ask yourself. And hey, it's okay to buy new gear. Everyone enjoys a new lens day. Like, when you get new gear, you just get happy inside and you just want to open it. You just want to go outside, use it, and create. And that's fine. That's great. But it's also okay if it feels heavy to buy gear sometimes. Because honestly, you're not just buying gear, you're trying to invest in your creativity. And that's tough sometimes. You just have to try and not let the weight of a decision crush the joy you feel when you're actually creating. Use what you have, get creative, and if you're buying gear, ultimately do it for yourself. Not because we're watching someone else's list or someone else's suggestions. Just buy for you, for what you do, for what you want, and ultimately just for you. I'm gonna be leaving the video there for today. This was just a quick chat. I just wanted to sit here and talk to you because I've been struggling with this myself recently, and I just wanted to get it all out there. So I'm gonna be leaving the video there for today. Remember, as always, like, comment, share, subscribe, y nos vemos en la próxima.